Okay, I'm ready.
Good morning. Welcome to Cup of Joe. My name is Bobby Bell. I'm a local entrepreneur. My husband and I own 6 mobile home parks in the tri-state area, and I own a business called Peregrine Printing and Promotions. We want to be sure and thank the library for hosting us here. They let us use this space for free. We have no money, so that's a good thing. And we also want to thank Golden Glaze Donuts for being our coffee sponsor. And we want to thank Bell for bringing us some treats. Like we're really making out good this morning with treats. If you're on Facebook Live, I'm sorry you're missing. So I want to go ahead and get our first entrepreneur started. Because I'm also in kind of the same business a little bit. I'm excited to hear Lauren's story. So welcome.
All right. Thank you. All right. Thank you. Thank you. All right. I am Lauren Fruits. I am the owner broker of FF Ventures. Right now, it's just me. I'm a one-woman show who has a couple helpers do some things. But I live in St. Joe. I technically have an office because I have to. It's in the Green Acres building, but I am never there. My office is actually my truck or one of the houses that I'm at. So a little bit about me to start with. Live in St. Joe. I'm from Lee Summit, Missouri. My little family up here on the right. My partner, Christy Finnegan, is 10. We got the chance to go to the World Cup this year. He's a big soccer fan. Total bucket checklist item. So much fun. The pups in the middle, the one on the left, Bagel, was Christy and Finnegan's first. The one on the right, the Brindle Birdie, is my rescue pup that I got, and she reminds me every day that she is very talkative. And then the 2 little houses up here is what we have started with so far in St. Joe with our own short-term rental management, which I'll get more into here in a second. FF Ventures has come about in several different ways, but right now I'm a real estate broker in Missouri. I have my license in Kansas. I'll be a broker soon in Kansas. I've done residential and commercial, leasing, buying, selling, all of the things. I also added a mobile notary to my bucket list because I found that a lot of my clients need that as well. The property management piece has been very interesting and ever changing. It did start out with just normal rentals when I started out back in 2020. I took over for a broker, my former broker, managing all of her properties in her property management company. And so at that point in time, there was about 40 doors, anywhere from single family homes to an 8-plex. Learned a lot. A lot of her investors at that point in time were transitioning into different deals. And so that was fun to see the change in selling and moving on to the next projects and how that works. Learned a lot with that. With St. Joe, I got started by answering a Facebook ad for a family who has a home up here who comes up and stays 4 or 5 weeks at a time. The rest of the time they live down south. So I've been managing their Airbnb for them. They had a friend that was doing it. And it was really eye-opening to see it's not just families that come up to St. Joe. It's workers, it's companies, it's doctors, it's nurses. There's a very big need for housing for people that we bring to the community for work. So done single family homes, multifamily homes. We can invest, we can manage. I even like to joke that I manage properties that, like my mom, she has a house. My dad passed away. She doesn't really care about all of the things that need to get done. So I'm basically her property manager. And then she tells her friends, and all of a sudden I'm their property manager with the reminders of changing your filters, covering your hoses in the winter. Did you do this? Did you do that? So I've even branched off a little bit into that, just to help those who really just need it. And then most recently at the beginning of the year, I added employee benefits. I started working for Aflac also part-time because I realized, well, I used it and I needed it, especially as a business owner, with insurance and all of the things. And then I realized with the people that I work with on a daily basis, they're in the same boat that I am. they have kids that go to the urgent care, accidents happen, cancer strikes the family. So I found it to be a really good relationship with the people that I do get to work with on a daily basis. So that's been really nice to be able to add another layer of protection for people. Just a little brief bio. My dad retired from commercial lending when I graduated from college, so we went to real estate school together. That was always what he wanted to do. I started out doing commercial with him, and I realized real quick that I did not want to spend every day with my dad and everyone who was the same age as my dad. It was not very beneficial to my social life. And so I always stayed a part of his team, kept my license, did a lot of the marketing flyers, showings for him, but didn't necessarily do the daily work because then I had a degree in business and education. So I was waiting for a business job to open up. I took a job at Lee's-Summit North High School, which is where I went to high school. I was a business teacher, golf coach, basketball coach, sponsor, all the things. But still also always had real estate on the side, weekend, summer, things like that. I got the opportunity in 2018 to go work for the University of Texas women's basketball team. While I was there, I got a master's in sports management and was a special assistant. It was a very eye-opening experience at that level. I'd just been at high school before to jump to that. So many experiences, so much learning. It would be great actually if businesses learn more from sports versus sports learning from businesses right now. The connection and the behind the scenes of how things happen is kind of helped me get to what I'm doing now and how it grows and how it builds in the relationships. While I was in Austin, I bought a house that had an apartment above the garage. In Austin, if you know anything about Austin, Austin is outrageous. Everything in Austin is expensive. So that really helped pay the mortgage because it was like, or my realtor was like, you can rent it out. I was like, I didn't even think of that. So that's where Airbnb came into play the first time. And it was packed all the time. So that was a great experience, but then COVID hit and Airbnb shut down. Basketball shut down, school shut down. They didn't renew my coach's contract. So we all moved back to Kansas City. That's where I started the property management for my broker. And then got the opportunity to leave again, go to University of San Antonio, work for the same coach. At that point, I had bought a house in Lee's-Summit, kept it, ran it as Airbnb. And unfortunately, right before I left, I just bought my first flip. I finally called on a for sale by owner sign on this terrible looking house that I drove by every day. And I finally just called and asked, and I was like, oh, that was way easier than I thought it was going to be. So I unfortunately didn't get to see any of the progress during that project. By the time I had a business partner and that all got handled. 2023, I moved back to help take care of my dad and do some family stuff. Still had the 2 Airbnbs, ran those, got back into real estate, made some connections with some plumbing companies, some construction companies, learned a lot of the back end of all of that, which helps with real estate. And last summer, I sold both of the Lee's-Summit Airbnbs because sometimes you just can't say no to an offer to move forward. And then that's helped with the new St. Joe projects. Oh, there we go. Whoops. Let's see. Everybody always asks, okay, well, who do I want to work with? I really want to work with anybody at this point in time. The real estate side, I really like to help families who have kids that are about to go to college and plan that out because at some point they're going to rent where they're going to school. And I have found that it's a great investment for the family to look into buying something for their kids, for their friends. And then when they graduate, they either keep it, their kid takes it on, or we move on. I found it's not something a lot of people think about, but it's really beneficial especially with rent prices these days. And you're in control of where your child lives, which for a lot of parents, that's great peace of mind. When someone outgrows their starter home, I have a couple really good friends, lenders, and people that I've worked with. They are very creative in helping people keep those starter homes to buy their next home to then become an investment property for them. I think a lot of people don't think about that as well, but if you plan far enough out, it can also be a great way to invest. My mother, who needs to downsize, who's the hardest client I've ever had. I really like that aspect as well, but that's just becoming trickier and trickier as prices increase and wants increase. But it's fun to go through that journey. And then again, retirement, graduation, same thing. A lot of people save money for weddings or college, but if you are doing that for your children, sometimes a down payment on a home is more of a better investment than some of the other stuff, or a car or whatever it might be. The property management side, my newest trend are flippers and investors who can't quite sell their flip for what they thought it was going to be worth. That's really where I've grown here recently in St. Joe. I've come up with a management structure where I rent from them, and then I either rent it out. It's subletting is what it is, but I do it more with the short-term rentals with Airbnb, VRBO, corporate housing piece. I go in and furnish it, which also helps with when they do decide to sell it again. There's furniture in there for pictures, showings. That's where houses sell better. So I go in, pay them rent, and then anything after that is kind of profit on my piece as far as how busy it is. Same thing with the real estate agents. Another piece of this, investors who are getting older, get tired of managing their properties. I love slowly taking over their portfolios, helping them figure out what's next, how that works, things like that. And then anyone who's ever dreamed of having a rental but has no idea what to do, I love those conversations. Call me, email me, we'll have coffee. It's that quick conversation, but it really gets the wheels turning. The employee benefit side, again, kind of goes along with all of it. I know I have trouble keeping part-time help with the way things are. I know other businesses struggle with the same thing, but I know the biggest piece is me being able to take care of the employees that I do have or am looking to expand with. And so that's where the employee benefit piece comes in. I'm not selling them anything. I'm not selling your company anything. I'm just giving you the opportunity to offer it to your people, and let them make the choice of whether they need something or not. Because at the end of the day, it's a personal choice. It should not be a business owner's choice of whether you say yes or no that someone can have life insurance. That's my thought on that piece. Economics and figures. Everybody likes the numbers and games of real estate. I am not your normal real estate agent in the fact that I'm never going to post that I sold $1.2 million worth of stuff for the month. I have friends that do that. It's great. I'm more into I helped 4 families do something. It's never been a figure piece for me, and I like to build the relationships, and I've always been a behind the scenes kind of person with the things that I've done, and that's the way I like to keep it. When I do real estate listings, I do a competitive or a set listing fee, especially if you're selling and then buying. There's a big negotiation piece with that. I know as the seller, you're using that money to buy your next house. And so I work with that based on people's budgets. Property management fees. If I just manage a home that's a year-long rental, it's usually the range is $125 to $250 a month for the fee. Again, depends on the property, where it's at, things like that. I don't have a set fee. Everyone always asks me for that. I don't think that's fair because every property is different. Every situation is different. So I have a little questionnaire people fill out, get the information, and then I come up with an explanation of why I'm charging what I'm charging. Airbnbs, it's a whole different structure depending on the situation. A lot of times it's just a flat percent. I also get the cleaning fee because I'm in charge of getting it cleaned, whether it's my cleaners or when they're gone, me. However we need to get it done is how it's going to get done. Other ways, again, taking the rent, paying the rent, and then after that, it's just a different fee structure. All simple, but all tailored to the owner and the property. What are you doing now? Growing and learning every day. I do have a website. It was on there. It's under construction right now. I did a revamp. I have a former student who is helping me get that all updated because that is not my wheelhouse. It takes me forever. Goals for the year: keep adding properties, meeting more people, partnering with local businesses to build those relationships. Next 5 years, this is the big piece for me as a brokerage: adding experienced agents, people who just want to be left alone, agents that just want to be left alone and go out and do their thing. I already have a structure set up as far as fees, transaction fees. It is not a percentage structure. It's just a flat amount. So if you know anyone who just wants to be left alone and hang their Missouri real estate license, have them call me. Candace is coming soon, like I said, and just keep growing in the community, properties, everything at a scale that I can manage, or as it grows, I can add trusted people to my network to do so. So that leads me to where we're going. Hiring agents who also want to learn to be property managers. I would like to acquire a commercial building in the future and just keep growing at a consistent rate. Problems and challenges. Real estate market is all over the place. So that is always entertaining. Platform fees on Airbnb and VRBO are also all over the place, not consistent, which is why a website will help. And getting business owners to understand the importance of employee benefits for their employees is always a struggle. Obstacles: reliable cleaners, reliable service people, reliable handy people. Yeah, send me all your people. Seriously. I try to use everyone that I can. I try to use a lot of them myself first before I refer them on to other people, but everyone calls me every day asking for referrals for, I mean, it's like Amazon, A to Z. You name it, people have asked for it. What I need to do better: time management and knowing the value of my time and when I should let someone else do it instead of myself. That's the short spiel of FF Ventures.
As you work to develop your website
Mm-hmm.
and you try to move away from the vacation rental channels,
Mm-hmm.
etc., what do you have a plan to try to figure out how to elevate yourself so your visibility is on the first page? Are you working with SEO provider or AEO, or was in a couple weeks ago? You were fantastic.
Yes. So I have a former colleague who used to do the SEO thing. It's not, I don't have the money or the platform or the number of properties to really go that route because it's, I mean, I'm still at a handful of things, which is where I want to be for the moment. But yes, the AI version, like the backside, which is a student who's helping me do that, does that. That's her day job, is the backside of AI. And so that is what I'm more interested in getting into and getting more recognizable with that piece of it and tying it all into. I'm also on social media, Instagram and Facebook, and she thinks that there's a great way to commingle all of that, which I don't understand any of it in that sense, but there's a way for it to all flow together to help with that. Yes.
You know, because if you have a way they can book you back, even if they come on via Airbnb one time.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's the goal, is because I do actually have a lot of repeat customers up here. And so that is my goal, because I want to, like, I had a recent listing. Someone paid like $240 in Airbnb fees. Like, that's not necessary. Like, that's why I'm trying to do it. with their own website to save some money.
Is there anything that these booking platforms like Airbnb or Vrbo, is there anything that they do to try to prevent you from doing direct?
Yes. I cannot type my phone number in the chat, in the messenger on the app. I cannot type my phone number. It X's it out. I have to like spell it out, put a number into, like, it's like code. I have to put it like I'm back in the Civil War and writing a code letter. So yes, they do a lot of things. I can't send a picture of my business card. They won't let it go through. So I leave all of that stuff in the homes, but if it's something they need before they get there, and they've taken away like the customer's phone number now, like I can't even see it. So like I can call them, but it goes through Airbnb. So I still don't have their number if I need to contact them in an emergency. Yes, I saw. They do, but the hoops you have to jump through to get it, to actually use it, it's not worth it. Like I have my own short-term rental insurance on the homes anyway. I have my own rental insurance. Airbnb really doesn't help a lot with that, and they also really don't help with reimbursements. I'm learning more and more every day. It gets harder and harder.
Out of curiosity, and this is more from a consumer standpoint, trying to help short-term rental owners, I use a lot of Vrbo and Airbnb. Is there one that's better? And then I've also had people where I've tried to book on Vrbo and they're like, hey, why don't you look me up on the other site? They get 10 bookings, they get one person.
I think it's kind of a personal preference on which one you like. I would used to go Airbnb was probably more user friendly. Now that is kind of balanced out a little bit more. For me, Airbnb is a little bit easier with the syncing of everything in the app. With VRBO, there's not co-hosting on VRBO. So when I do someone else's property, I have to be them. And every time I log in and out of the app, it's a pain with that one. So I have like 3 different devices that are logged into like 3 different people's VRBOs to track everything, which is why I like to use the just cell phone, like phone numbers anyway, because it's also much faster. A lot of times that stuff is delayed as well. It doesn't go through immediately. Yes.
So since you've been in this for a while, what's one thing you wish you would have known when you first started that you learned?
So that's a great question. The first house we bought up here in St. Joe is over on Fairlay Terrace. And it was like grandma's house, and it still had the pink tile in the bathroom, and I kept it to go nostalgic. And so we made it cute, like a pink bedroom, a green bedroom, and a blue bedroom. And the first 4 bookings for the first 5 months I had were work crews. So while we put in all of this work to make it really cute and eclectic, we had construction guys in there, which was great. Like they're my favorite customers. Like I would rent to them all day, every day. But it was just really funny what we put in all this really cute stuff and then like not appreciated. I can't imagine what they had to do who got the pink bedroom. So like, I don't know. Yes.
Going to the employee benefits. If I miss something, for instance, our business, it is very hard for us to, give benefits anymore, health insurance.
Yes.
We refer them to someone else,
Mm-hmm.
to the chamber,
Mm-hmm.
for them to go and try to find something. But do you only offer Aflac?
I do only offer Aflac. So the supplemental side, do have the connections with brokers, other people who do the health insurance side, but Aflac's done a really good job lately of combining products and value-added services as a package deal to put together that really, if you can't afford the true health benefit side as a business to your employees, it's a great package deal to help at least get them in the right direction to do that.
The business doesn't supplement that or pay for that. That's an individual.
It's an individual thing. I do have some businesses who will buy an accident plan for all of their employees, or they will allot $50 a month or $200 a month to pick, and the employee gets to choose which products are going to fit best with their family or their lifestyle. So that's always been a great benefit. And when you break it down, it's a great way to tell someone you're getting a raise without, I mean, if you do an accident policy for someone, it's like 11 cents an hour would be the raise. If you told someone that, they would be really mad. But if you tell someone they're getting an accident policy, it has a different effect. Yes.
We have an online
Oh.
question from NetWeeks. She says the idea of helping senior citizens take care of their homes is an interesting concept. Explain more of what that service looks like.
Yes. So that is still a work in progress as far as I'm learning it. And as more people ask for that, it's almost come to the, it's almost kind of like going in the direction of a subscription, a very reasonable subscription where, whether it's quarterly or monthly, I haven't quite decided what's going to be best for that, but it goes through the whole checklist of, you know, everything that you should be checking on, doing for your homes, but also with the information of what you're planning to do in the future, kind of that piece to it as well. It's, like I said, I haven't quite nailed down exactly what that looks like yet because it's ever changing as I work with a few different people. But I think it could be something that's very beneficial.
I was going to say, I think it would almost kind of like social media. That'd be a good thing to do. Like you could even say, like, hey, every 6 months are you checking your screening? And then if you need help with that or you need us to provide that, get a hold of us.
Yes.
Because I don't think you're obviously in it for the money, but you're also.
Correct. Like, I'm not going to become a millionaire doing that, but like it's beneficial. And it also helps people take care of their homes correctly so that when it does come time to sell, they do get the most value out of it.
And it improves with your contractors that you use. Like if you've got a guy
Yes.
that paints gutters and you've got a guy that does HVAC, you become a higher priority to him because you're providing more business.
Correct. Correct. Yes. And I like that understanding where I merge them together. Like they understand like this isn't going to be their money maker necessarily, but at the same time, like they're getting exposure and growing as well, to build more business.
Have you done any work with mid-term rental, traveling nurses and doctors? That sort of thing?
I have.
How did you gain visibility?
That was really great. The first one was just by chance that someone from Mosaic reached out for a doctor on Airbnb. I have since, I think she actually has now left, so I really need a new contact over there. I'm on Furnished Finders. I have one home on Furnished Finders, but I can offer any of them on there. As far as getting that visibility out there, I think it's a great one and a great again, like that midterm is really probably my favorite because it really puts someone in there for a good chunk of time. It doesn't do a whole damage, so to speak, but it truly helps like the community out.
You get good clientele.
Yes. Yes.
Google reviews.
Mhm.
How are you getting? Is that an area of focus that making sure every tenant at least?
It will be once I get my website up and running because I can integrate those together. Right now, Airbnb and the platform reviews are all over the place. And so just as my little spiel here, take all those reviews with a grain of salt, whether you're booking or not booking, because some people are just never satisfied. Yeah. So, but yes, it will be a growing piece as soon as this website gets revamped. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.